Welcome to Coaching the Brave podcast with Yvonne Chase. I am Yvonne Chase, and I am here to provide you positivity and possibility because hope and community is something that we all strive for and we all really need. So enjoy and sit back. I am so thankful that you are here another week because what we're going to be discussing here is just so many fun people who are not only part of the military community, but who are also part of the civilian community and who have things to offer for the military. And it's not only about interviews and chatting together, but it's also about experiences of coaching and meditations and just fun little quirky things that come to mind that I just want to share with you. And I hope that they bring you a light at the end of the day to take with you to the rest of the week. And I hope you really enjoy. Without further ado, let's get into it. For my membership, it is finally here. I am going to love on you so much that you're either going to love it and just be stagnant, or you're going to love it and want to share it and want to grow it. So here's what you're going to get in this membership. I'm so excited. Not only are you going to get access to my previous group discussions, but you're also going to get tips and tricks only my clients get in their 3-month program. Okay. Where you have that opportunity to get 1 month of customized coaching. I cannot wait to see you in this membership, and please let me know if you have any questions and if you would like to be on my show, if you have an experience that you have overcome that now you're on the other side of it and you are more positive than before. And also, if you have a business that you would like for me to advertise for you, there is also a link in the show notes to click on that and check out that information. If you have any other questions, message me or email me. I'm super excited. Hello, my people. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm so thankful for your loyalty, as always, coming back another week to listen to what Yobi has to offer for you. Today, we're going to be talking about and with a very beautiful, positive, high-level vibrational woman who is also a military spouse, a mom, a coach, pastor. Her name is Ruthie Silver. She is a military spouse and an IVF boy mom of 2, ages 4 and 2 years old. Her husband is a former enlisted Marine and now an Army officer with a total of 21 years in service to date. By day, she is a nutrition and fitness coach and marketing. And as the host of Talk Mommy to Me podcast, she's on a mission to help moms ditch the hot mess mom identity in favor of a more vibrant, joyful, and aligned version of motherhood. And I'm so excited that we get to talk today because that is so in alignment with what my mission is with the Coaching the Brave podcast. And I will get into that in another episode. But for now, enjoy the conversation with Ruthie. I know you're just going to get so much value out of it and enjoy it. Share it, listen, subscribe, and go visit Ruthie Silver on her platforms. All of her information is in the show notes. So have a blast. Enjoy. Thank you so much for coming here and being on the Coaching the Brave podcast with me, Ruthie. I'm very excited.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
You're welcome. I'm very excited because you and I were in the same podcasting class. So to have you as a guest on my show and I was on yours, it was so exciting to know that we were both affiliated with the military. We're both coaches and we're both moms, and it just related so much.
Yes.
So I reached out and I'm so thankful that I did because I'm just excited to be here today with you.
It's going to be great. Let's do it. I'm so excited.
For sure. Awesome. So when you and your husband met, were you and him already in the military, or how did that come about?
So my husband and I actually met in high school. I was a freshman in high school and he was a senior, and he was that like cool kind of bad boy vibe football player, and I was a freshman who just had like a major crush on him. I just thought he was like the bee's knees. And so we kind of ran in the same circles a little bit. And so we hung out a little bit. We passed each other a few notes. But I always was like, there's something to this guy. And I was right. But he comes from a military family. So both of his parents are Vietnam veterans. They were in for over 20 years combined, reserves and active duty, both his mom and
Wow.
dad, and his brother's in the army as well. And so I knew he came from a military background, and I didn't grow up around a lot of military personnel, but interestingly enough, I always had this really immense respect and interest in the
Mm.
military. So that was like an extra draw.
Wow, yeah. Tell me that
Yeah.
about that. That's amazing. So you had
Yeah.
this kind of gravitational pull towards him. Not only did you have this crush on him, but you also had that gravitation, and I completely get that because my husband and I are also high school sweethearts, and we started off with friends as well. Actually, I didn't really like him at first because he was one of those bad boy emo kinda kids,
Yep,
kinda
I hear you.
gothic, and
Yeah.
he
Ooh,
would
those
make
ones are trouble.
messes and yeah. I would have a
Yeah,
late lunch because I was the band geek, and
right?
he would have, like, these concoctions that he would make in the lunchroom,
Mhm.
and I'm just like, "That is disrespectful to the lunch lady. She has to pick that up." At least if he had picked it up, I'd be okay with that, but I was just so
Right?
not on that level,
Yeah,
and then
that's funny.
as we grew to mature, obviously, and
Mhm.
then he got into the arts, and I don't know, I just had that pull as well, so I get that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how
Yeah.
that happens. I was just drawn to that. I was like, there's something behind those eyes. Like, there's more than meets the eye. A lot of people say what you see is what you get, and I knew that wasn't the case with him. Like, I knew there were these
Right.
layers. And we didn't date really. I mean, like, we like went to a party together. I don't think we even like kissed. I was just so intrigued by him, but it was only in 10 years later, actually, when he was in Afghanistan, that we started talking again. And then when he got
Oh,
home, we hung
wow.
out, and from there on, it was the two of us. So,
Oh, wow. So high school, you had a break there, and then he joined?
yeah,
What branch did he join?
so his story is incredible. So 7 days out of high school graduation, actually on his birthday, he went to boot camp, Paris Island. He enlisted in the Marines. His parents were
Oh,
Army, so he was
wow.
going in the military, but he was gonna be different.
Of course.
And his class was actually the first to graduate after 9/11. He graduated boot camp 3 days after 9/11. So his parents couldn't fly
Oh.
down. They drove down. When they drove back up to New Hampshire, they could still see, the smoke from the towers. So he
Mhm.
entered boot camp at a time of peace and very quickly realized that his military career was going to get a jump start. Um,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So that's how things started off for him. And after his time in the Marines, he was stationed in Okinawa for 2 years. He served, in Iraq, a combat deployment in Iraq, and he decided to come back home to New England, and he went to Norwich University, which is a military academy, nation's oldest private military college, and while he was there, he joined the Vermont National Guard to not have a break in service, and so he commissioned into the Vermont National Guard, did a deployment to Afghanistan with them, and has been, active duty off and on ever since, and has been active duty for the past 6 years?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, since then. So he has an interesting career, different branches, different statuses that he's been in for 21 years now, so
Amazing. Well, thank you
yeah.
both for your service. That's just incredible to hear that his career started out in time of peace and then just 3 days after his graduation, you said?
Mhm.
It just
He graduated
escalated.
3 days
3 days.
after, yes.
Oh,
So it
wow.
happened while he was, like, in the final days of boot camp.
Oh my goodness. Did he even know about it since he was in boot camp?
I believe that they briefed them on it
Wow.
and said
Okay.
something like, "Well, welcome to the Marines, you're going to
Oh
war."
gosh. Oh gosh.
Something
Yep.
like that. I know, so I can only
Yeah.
imagine being in his shoes back then, but
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Me too.
Mhm.
That
Yeah, crazy.
I kind of want to take a moment of silence for that one and breathe that in
Yeah,
because that's intense.
absolutely. Yeah, it's deserving of the gratitude and the reflection and the honoring for sure. Any of our service
Absolutely.
members. Yeah, that was an intense situation as a young kid, just several
Oh
months out of high
gosh.
school and
Yeah.
yep,
Wow. And
yep,
then when you said 10 years later, you and him started
yes.
dating, tell me about
Yeah.
how you felt about him being in the military, but back then.
Yeah, when we first started talking, he was actually in Afghanistan and they would get access to computers every so often. He was in a very remote village, but he would get access every so often. And we connected on Facebook actually. And so we would like chit chat on Facebook Messenger and send each other, messages and talk back and forth. And a couple months later, when he got home, we went on a date. And I felt like the same way I felt in high school. I was just drawn to him, and I appreciated him even more for his service and the experiences that he had been through. It wasn't an easy deployment.
Mhm.
He was in one of the most tumultuous provinces in Afghanistan during one of the most tumultuous times. And he's infantry, so he's out there. He's
Yeah.
he's in engaging with the enemy, you could
Yeah.
say. And so he came back, and it was tough. It was tough, but we always say if we can make it starting off dating, like 2 days after you're coming back from a combat deployment,
Yeah.
then you can make it through pretty much anything.
Absolutely. Wow,
Yeah.
that just yeah, absolutely makes that foundation a whole hell of a lot stronger.
Yes, it wasn't your traditional, I would say, start to a romance, but it's
Right.
our story, so I love it.
Of course, nobody's here judging now. Don't worry
Yeah.
about that.
Yep.
I do wanna know what happened to you in those 10 years.
After when he left for boot camp and I had 3 years left of high school, I actually changed high schools. I went through my own trauma, my own really significant life-altering events, but managed to get through college. I managed to get a job in the educational travel industry, and when we started talking, I was kind of contemplating my next step. I was considering leaving the job I was at and moving back home to the area where we were from. And I was kind of at a crossroads in my life at that time. So I had a lot of experiences to pull from. I was still processing things that had happened in my own life. And I actually think because of the trauma that I had experienced, I was able to sort of meet him where he was at even more
Mm,
because I understood that some things cause really deep wounds and some things cause you to act out of alignment with your true nature, and some things put walls up to where you're
yeah,
not just like, hey, yeah, like let's date, isn't this great, I'm so into you. Like things can
right.
get muddy and complicated, and people need time, they need space, then they don't need space, so
Yeah,
I understood all of that, and so we were able to kind of bond over that in a way out of trying to pull ourselves and one another through the difficulty of trauma and find peace and happiness and joy again. And I think we helped each other do that.
that is so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, yeah.
Know that it's been a while, and those times, those traumas could still kind of be lingering there and still follow. And it
Mhm.
sounds like you have gone through it the thick of it, and you've come back on the other side with the experience and the wisdom, and that you're sharing with a smile, and so I
Yeah.
appreciate you for that.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. I really, for my own well-being, I really want to continue to try and rise. Like even when those things were happening, I said I don't want to like live in victimhood, and I think that that has shaped a lot of, how I am as a wife, how I am as a mother, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Mhm.
Um, so it's not that I'm grateful for the experience because it was awful, but
Mhm.
I can appreciate the lessons and the takeaways from it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, and I love that you now have this podcast that you host where it's not just about momhood, but it's also about, not living in that mess of just like the drama of being a mom and things like that.
Mhm.
And I love how you just said that possibly shaped where you are today and being more, positive and
Yeah.
on the other side of that. So that's
Yeah.
exciting.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Yeah. And speaking of momhood, how old are your children or child? How many do you have?
I have 2 boys. My oldest is 4. He turned 4 in January, so a couple months ago now, and my youngest will be 2 next week.
Oh my goodness, happy early birthday.
So, yes, thank you. I can't believe it. 2 always hits me harder than 1 for some reason.
Yeah.
Because I just think that 2, they're, like, starting to be a real, like, kid.
Yep.
1, I was surprised as a first-time mom, I was like, "Okay, like, you're 1 that's big, but you still kinda look like a baby," you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
And 2, you're like, "He was telling me about his day at school yesterday." Like, "Oh my gosh, you're a kid."
I know. Oh my goodness. I always get hit at 3. When they hit 3, I'm like,
Mm.
"Oh, you're a toddler now. This isn't cool." Like 2,
Yeah,
yeah,
3
you're a
was
toddler,
crazy.
but, ah,
2 to
stop
3 went by like
growing.
a flash for me. 2 to 3 went by fast,
Yeah.
I felt like. So, yeah, I just barely missed 2 under 2 by a couple months. They're not 2.5 years. They're actually a little bit closer to 2 years apart, right? But, so it's busy, it's loud sometimes. I know more about construction vehicles and trucks than I ever planned to in my whole entire life. It is amazing. We have a blast.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can learn from them too.
I know. I'm like, "Yo, dude, what vehicle is that?" Well, he's like, "It's not this because it has a back bucket, and it's not this because it has it has tracks and not wheels. It's this." I'm like, "Okay, you really know your stuff, man."
Heck yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's funny.
What is your career?
I am a fitness instructor, personal trainer, and nutrition coach by trade, but I actually work for a digital fitness and nutrition program. And so I started out as a coach for them, and now I run the communications from like the corporate organization side. So I'm still heavily involved in fitness and nutrition. We've had almost 300,000 clients come through at this point, talking about fitness, nutrition, mindset. That's what we do all day, every day, and it's great.
That is great. Wow,
Yes.
congratulations on moving on up like that. That's
Oh, thank
great.
you. Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
it's been a really great experience personally and professionally, and to be able to have a hand in impacting people's lives. A lot of our clients are busy moms, so that gets
Mm,
me fired up even more.
mhm.
Um, Seeing them put smart nutrition and workout strategies into place, and the benefits that unfold when they take care of themselves in that way is incredible.
Absolutely. It's so
Yeah.
rewarding to have that be that hand in their life and see them through it.
Yeah, and unlock things that you knew that they could do all along. It's just a matter of
Exactly.
having the right plan and a good support system and just them believing in themselves and their worth, that they're worth, the 30 minutes to work out, that they're worth healthy meals, taking the time to sit and eat, that sort of stuff. So, yeah, we incorporate a variety of strategies, different than your traditional like diet, cut your calories, do more cardio, less is more approach,
Yep.
something that women can actually stick to.
Yes.
So yeah, I definitely stand behind what we do, and I'm happy to talk about anything, fitness or nutrition like related for moms if you want.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exciting. What would you say is your f favorite, I guess, the favorite tool that you love to share with your moms and your clients?
One of the number one tools that I personally use and we use is a strategy called macronutrient tracking.
Okay.
So we have our clients, we determine based on their goals, their age, their height, their weight, any health history, their lifestyle, exactly the exact amount of protein, carbohydrates, and fat that they need. So all the food that you're eating, if macronutrient tracking sounds intimidating, you're already tracking macronutrients. Your body is already keeping the score. You just don't know it. So
Mhm.
all foods fall into three categories: protein, carbs, and fats. So protein, you can think, chicken breast, tofu, beef, that sort of thing. And carbs, broccoli, apples, donuts, um, and fats, almonds, salmon, olive oil. We could go on and on about the different food groups, but we help each person determine the right amount and ratio of those three food groups to lose fat, to improve their energy, to regulate their hormone health. And once you know what your body needs to function at its prime, it's a game changer. It's a game
Yeah,
changer because otherwise you're just aiming at a target in the dark and
right.
you don't know. Like moms could be eating the crust off their kids' sandwiches that they're packing in the morning. They could have a couple bites of chicken nuggets and like scarf down some of the salad at dinner with a glass of wine. Maybe eat like a protein bar during the day for lunch and some like pirate's booty, and then wonder why they feel like crap and they're not losing weight if that's their goal. So when you're really aware of your portion sizes, if you can look at your plate and say, okay, where's my protein, carb, and fat, and aware of what you need, then you're going to feel so much better and you're going to see results like so much faster. So it's a tool that requires a little bit of learning, right? We use our app for
Yes.
clients to track it. So you have to be open to spending a good week or so
Mhm.
not getting it perfect, and perfect isn't the
Yeah.
goal, like, awareness is the goal, so you have to see
Yes.
it through in that way, and just like you're learning a new skill, be patient with yourself, it's gonna click, it's gonna become second nature, and it's not something that I recommend people necessarily do for life. Like I've done it for so long now that I can dial it back and maybe just track my
Mhm.
protein or go a couple weeks or months without tracking, but it's a great tool to fall back on that you can dial in anytime that you want. So I recommend that moms actually find out what their body needs and keep track for a while so you can see because you might be surprised by how little you're eating and how much more you can eat. That's always
Yeah.
my favorite when I'm like, "Girlfriend, you are eating, like, less than what a toddler needs every day." Like, it's
Yeah.
no wonder things aren't budging.
Yep.
Or it could be, "Hey, listen, you're actually that spoonful of peanut butter is actually 4 tablespoons, not 2."
Mhm.
And doing that every day or eating bites here and there is actually putting you in a surplus, and so it's preventing you from
Mhm.
releasing some stored fat. So that's one of my favorite tools just for moms to get a grasp on their intake and start to see things move.
That is exciting. I'm gonna put your information in the show notes, that way they can know
Yeah,
where to find you and, if
definitely.
they have any other questions, they can go to
For
you, things like
sure.
that.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does that work? Do you go to work or do you work from home? And how has that been with your 2 littles?
So I work from home.
Okay.
Um, so full time work from home. I'm at my computer. Our company is headquartered in Florida, so occasionally, several times per year, I'll go down there to work in person for like a couple nights, but I'm primarily here at home. My kids go to daycare. And so, we get them ready for school. I bring them, or my husband does if he can. I'm working, I go pick them up. It's dinner, it's all that stuff. And so the days are pretty full. And I was actually talking to someone who I was interviewing last night, and something I struggle with a little bit is like working from home and while my kids are at daycare. Like it feels kind of weird. Like I'm home. Like I should just be able to have my kids home. But no, I'm like full on working like every day, all day. And so that's like kind of interesting, but I really do love my role, and working from home does offer me a good amount of flexibility, so that's nice.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, that flexibility is important.
Yeah, it really is.
I have so many questions for you, but I don't want to get into a coaching session right now.
Feel free. I'll take all the
If
help
you
I can
want, we
get.
can talk about that later.
Yeah.
But you're right though, because our kids are a little bit older. They are 7 and 9, and they go to school. So I always think about that too. And I'm like, okay, I'm working from home as well. And I'm wondering if they weren't in public school and I had them homeschooling, because we did go through a semester of
Mhm,
homeschooling when everything shut down. So, and I really liked it. And I feel like I have the mental space to actually do it. Not all, but I can do it. But
mhm.
again, my parents were here with us, so they could help a lot. And now
Yeah,
they're not. So then I go back and forth as well, thinking about that too.
yeah.
But yeah,
There are a lot
that's
of options these days,
there's
and
so many options.
there's so many options, and, this is working great for us right
Yeah.
now. I once I kind of walked the dog on my idea of like, well, maybe the kids could stay home, and I'm like, you know what? I know that it would be not as fun for them. They're at school, they're playing with friends, they're doing all these art activities and science activities, and they're playing outside even when it's cold. And like, I'm working at home in the winter, and I wouldn't be able to bundle them up and take them out. I'd be turning to screens more than I would
Mm.
like. And I would be constantly torn between my computer and them. And like, that's not, I would rather let them have me at my best when I can really be present than try and juggle. I just like pretend you're at an office, Ruthie. Like, cut yourself, give
And
yourself a
that's
break.
that sounds like that's the biggest struggle with moms, right? Is that when we feel that internal struggle of, am
Mhm.
I being the most quality that I could be for my kids, or
Yeah.
am I like not here but here at the same time? I
Mhm.
think that is the biggest struggle.
Yeah.
So,
There are a lot of
uh,
distractions these days.
yeah, the fact that you're actually mentally actively thinking about that, like, I want to be the present quality me and mommy that I can be for my kids when they do come home and when I'm done
Mhm.
working. That's it. That's so important.
It is. Yeah, it is important for me to show up as my best self and be able to give them my full joy. And, we live out in the middle of nowhere. We live in the country. So when they're not at school, I mean, it's family time all the time. Weekends are all family time. That's really special too.
Absolutely. Those are memories that you can't get back.
Yes,
So
for
to
sure.
have that, beautiful. Oh, thank you for sharing that. It's
Yes.
gonna I know that's just gonna impact so many lives, and it's just so important to take away that moment. And I don't know, this came to mind just now about being selfish, because a lot of us would think that it's selfish, but I think that
Mhm.
it's more precious. I think this would
I
be
like that.
a precious, not taking away the time away from your kids or your spouse, but having that time, getting to have that time together is so precious and so important that later on
Yeah.
in life in the future, it's going to come back and be like, wow, yeah, we did have that. We had
Yeah.
those fun times.
I savor those. Any moments I have with the kids and with my husband, I just savor it so much. Not to say it doesn't have like its stresses or it's
Yeah.
ever pushing any buttons, but um I really am just so grateful for the time that we
Right.
have. And I think that, part of the reason is because I can appreciate it because I am working during the day. So I don't take it for granted. And I really try and take good care of myself so that I
Yes.
can take advantage of those times. I can chase after them. I can, I'm full of smiles for them at every turn. And
Right.
so that's important to me too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Your self-care is so important.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and those moments of those, stressful periods, like, those I take I don't know about you, but they take a mindset of growth. This is a learning
Yeah.
experience. What is
Mhm.
happening in this moment? What happened before this moment? Is it something that needs to change, or is it something that I have to kind of be more aware of, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I think definitely taking some ownership, and I play this like little game with myself in those tense moments. I say to myself, like, how creative can I be with how I approach this? How calm can I be? Patient can I be? How loving can I be? How joyful can I be? And I consciously am telling myself that so that I can move through that moment without, I mean, of course I get frustrated, but sometimes, but, as best as I can to kind of be that steady presence for them and
Mhm.
give them space to say what they need to say and feel how they need to feel. And also being in charge of the boundary. I talk to a lot of moms these days who feel like they're not in they can't control the energy and the tone of their home. And while certain things are out of your control, I want to empower moms that like you can set rules on certain things. You can set a boundary.
Mm.
You can, they're not always going to like it. They're not
Mhm.
always going to like it. But if you have a loving, come from a loving place, it's a mutual respect, like you can set a boundary and that helps preserve your own sanity. And it also helps maintain a positive energy in your home, I think. So I think it's a balance.
Yes, that's the perfect word for it. Yeah, and understanding that it can be a balance too.
Yeah. You don't have
Yeah,
to be the like best friend mom or the authority figure. You can have this like beautiful meeting of both.
love that. And now I know that you have your podcast on top of your full-time job. So tell me about
Yeah.
that. How did you come about creating this podcast?
Yeah, I do. Thanks for bringing it up. So, my
Yeah.
podcast is called the Talk Mommy to Me podcast, and I am on a mission to help moms ditch the hot mess mom identity in favor of a more joyful, balanced, and fulfilling version of motherhood. The vibe on social of moms with young kids is not to my liking. In a lot of ways. So I'm not like targeting all moms, but there's this like underlying culture that being a mother means you need to camp out and you need to settle for like a watered down version of yourself and just live in survival mode, and that's to be expected because like, oh, that's just how motherhood is. Like, get ready. You're not going to sleep for 18 years and you're not going to get a minute to yourself unless you like go pee and lock the door. Um, your toddlers are just there to terrorize you all day until your husband comes home. And so while I get that there are days and moments like that, like for sure, it's
Mhm.
I was just scrolling through reels on my phone and that's all that was coming up. Like, and sure I laughed at some, but then I was like, wait a minute. Like, that's not it. Like, I don't want to subscribe to that version of motherhood. So I'm trying to kind of
Love
lift
that.
moms higher and show them that you can be fully yourself and vibrant and joyful, and you can learn how to ask for help and you can learn how to create good vibes.
Yes.
And yeah, so that's what we do. And I've been really lucky to be able to talk with amazing moms like you and have great conversations around motherhood. So it's been fun.
That is so exciting. I love that. That is beautiful. It's true.
Okay.
That like I think what 90% of what I see is like messes. And not
Yeah.
physical messes, but just like I need my wine because it's the end of the day, or
Yeah.
I have to have like 5 cups of coffee or
Coffee to
something.
wine. Yeah, yeah.
Instead of having like the coffee and the wine to enjoy, they're making it a
Yeah,
cop out. Like I need this
yeah.
because of instead
Because
of
my kids, my kids, my
yeah.
kids, my kids, like I said, I'm not saying that there aren't moments
Right.
where I'm like, I'm gonna be sipping wine from the bottle in my closet if you need me,
Right.
like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But just like as just a baseline, I want more for moms, and it's not just for our own sake. Like, I'm trying to elevate how people view motherhood. I think there's a lot of narratives these days. Like, you can either be a mom or like have fun in life. So if
Mhm.
you like having fun, don't be a mom because your life's going to be overtaken by these little terrorists and
Yeah.
you're answering to someone else all day. And so I just want to shed light on that moms can be happy and have fun, and we can thrive and not have to live in survival mode. And I also feel passionate that if we as moms are accepting that as a baseline, then true postpartum anxiety and depression are going to get buried in that. Because
Yes.
someone who's actually suffering is going to look at these messages on social media and say, "Oh, that's just normal. It's
It's
normal for me to
normal.
not want to see my friends. It's normal for me to never get out of the house. It's normal
Mhm.
for me to never shower. It's normal for me to feel stressed and rageful all the time. Like, I wanna scream." Like, that doesn't have to be normal, and maybe if that is your normal, you should talk to someone and not just see it reflected back on social media that that's just what motherhood is, and I'm using air quotes. So, there's, like, a serious side to this all too that I worry about.
Absolutely. What an amazing catch from you is to see that not only as a cultural norm, but also as a need, a necessity.
Yes.
There's a necessity there, and you
Yeah.
found it. That is
Oh,
amazing.
thank you.
Yes. I mean, I suffered from postpartum anxiety too. And
Yeah.
I don't think social media was as thick as it is right now in your face,
Mhm.
you know? So
Yeah.
for me, I knew I was like, there is something off here. And like you said, a lot of these moms are just going to look and say, oh, it's okay. This is normal. And,
Mhm.
it's not just moms now either. Science is stating that men also suffer from
Yes.
postpartum anxiety, not so much depression,
Mhm.
but the anxiety. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely take a look at that if you're listening and this resonates with you. And uh, yeah, talk to someone and a
Yeah.
professional. Well, Ruthie, thank you so much. If there was something empowering, obviously, like you've been talking about already, but like not so much for everyone, but military spouses or moms or just veterans in general, like, if there was anything empowering that you could provide for them, some type of hope to keep going and just enjoy life in a positive way, what would that be?
I would say that being married to someone in the military is a gift, and it also is a responsibility. And while it can seem like your service member is the one who needs all of the attention, all of the like respect, all of their needs met, and that the world revolves around that, it's very important for you to one understand that your role as a military spouse is a support role, but also that you are like the heartbeat of your home and you are actually the one who is holding things down and running stuff. And so try and aim for a partnership while although your roles are very different, you also have the respect that you deserve and you also are getting your needs met and have like a very symbiotic respectful dance between you two,
Mm.
and work towards communication and understanding because I think the support role is very important as a military spouse. You just have to understand that they are dealing with things that civilians aren't and you have to have a thick skin and be able to kind of rise to that occasion, but at the same time, like you are irreplaceable in your home, irreplaceable. And so that's worthy of so much love and attention as well.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you so much, Ruthie. Again,
Yes.
I appreciate you so much and best of luck on your podcast and
Thank you.
any of your journeys. Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
having
much.
me.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. What an amazing conversation that was. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise, your knowledge, and your skills with the Coaching the Brave community. We appreciate you so much. And for you listeners out there, if you enjoyed it and it really touched your heart and you thought of someone that it could benefit, share it with them. Thank you again for listening. I encourage you to review, check out my website as well, YovannaChase.com, And find me on Instagram and Facebook at Yvonne Chase Coaches. And I am here because I want to help you succeed. I want to help you be a more positive you. And right now, I'm doing a promotion where you will get a one on one holistic fat loss program. Um, you can get a free 15-minute call with me. So if you head on over to my IG, under my bio, you can find that Calendly link where you can go ahead and sign up for that. I'm excited to speak with you in person. Oh my gosh, through this Zoom virtual life here. So if you are interested or know someone who might be interested in losing 20 pounds in 90 days holistically, please share, sign up. And again, I cannot wait to talk with you next week. Have a wonderful week.